Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I'm out again in the Seathwaite area, and although I haven't got much on, it's a cold one today. I've been moving quite quickly, so it does keep you warm, but when you stop you do tend to cool down quite quickly. So you probably know where I am, at the stretcher box at Stye Head, and I'm out with Scott again, the lone explorer. He's kindly offered to give me a bit of company for the night. So as I was saying, it is quite cold. I think it's currently about 3 degrees and it's a bit breezy as well. The forecast for tonight is sort of 25 mile an hour winds, something like that, but quite gusty as well. And if that's the case, the wind chill is going to be about -10, I think. So it's going to be a cold one. And with that in mind, and the fact that it's going to be windy as well, I've brought the Hilleberg Soulo. I've not had that tent out for a year. I can't believe it. The last time I had it out was December last year on the local moors when I got snowed in. That was a great camp. I'll put a link to that on the screen. Yeah, you can probably hear now that wind's picking up, and I think it's due to pick up quite a bit later. So see how it goes, but we're going to head up to Sprinkling Tarn and onto Seathwaite Fell. We've not decided where we're going to pitch yet, but we'll just have a look around. I would imagine in weather like this it's going to be pretty quiet, so we're hoping to have it to ourselves. Probably no other idiots go out in this sort of weather, but yeah, so we'll head up towards Sprinkling Tarn and I'll get back to you up there. See you in a bit. Hello again. Here we are. We actually got pitched up. The weather, the sun's just come out and it's absolutely beautiful, but very cold. It's 1 degree C at the moment. If you, that's where we're pitched. Just down there. We're just on Seathwaite Fell. Hopefully this little area here is going to be a bit sheltered tonight when the winds pick up, but who knows. But fingers crossed we might be just out of the wind here. I've actually pitched here before, and last time I came it was about 4 years ago, and it was actually, all this was frozen solid. It was January. Yeah, that was a freezing night, but stunning location this. Sprinkling tarns just over that way, and Great Hens right in front of us there. And then if we come round this way, we've got Lingmel there, Great Gable, and then over my shoulder there we've got Glaramara. So it's a bloody good pitch is this, and as you can imagine, knowing me, we've got it all to ourselves. Look at that. What a day. What a day. So I've got my thermals on now. Got my long johns on, thick socks, got my down jacket on, mittens, all set for a blooming cold night in the mountains. It's a great secluded little spot this is. There's just been a search and rescue chopper on the top of Great End. It looked like they pulled someone down from there, so I don't know what's been going on, but yeah, interesting stuff. Just wandering back to the tents now, just over there, wandering down the side of this this wee tarn. That wind just seems to have dropped. The temperature is currently 0, but it makes a hell of a difference when that wind drops. It's supposed to pick up again tonight, but hopefully we've got a bit of shelter down here. I still haven't had a brew yet. I've been too busy messing around with stuff like you do. Just back up on Seathwaite Fell now, and fantastic views all around. Just looking north there to the Skiddaw Range and Blencathra, Derwentwater, Keswick, absolutely beautiful. And the sun is starting to set now. We won't get a sunset from here because well, Great End and Lingmel's blocking it, but just look at that, the sun breaking through the Wasdale Valley there. See right out to sea. Absolutely gorgeous. And Great Gable there. Scott's just got his anemometer out and he's measured the wind speed at 30-mile-an-hour gusts. But as I say, we are quite sheltered just down next by that little tarn there. So hopefully it'll stay like that all night. But Seathwaite Fell, it's a really interesting place. It's just these little tarns scattered all around, and I think we're just above 2,000 feet where we're pitched. But it's a really interesting little fell, this. Then you've got Baramar over there, Allen Crags, S Pike. Look at the skies there turning as the sun's setting. Beautiful, it really is. Wind's starting to pick up now, as I just mentioned the wind, it's just starting to pick up. You can see it blowing across the little tarn there. So yeah, maybe things are about to change. But it's great to be out, it really is great to be out. I measured the temperature on my little temperature gauge at 0 degrees. But if that wind picks up tonight, it's going to be wind chills about -10. Anyway, I'll sign off for now. I'll leave you with that sunset, and I'll see you in a bit. Hello again. So they're settled in the tent now. It's gone dark, proper dark now. It's still quite cloudy, overhead. Temperature's dropped to 0 degrees. In fact, I'm going to put my gloves back on while I talk to you. I've got a little remote Bluetooth temperature gauge. Really good. It's about £8 off Amazon, and you just got it outside the tent there, and it just communicates with your phone. You can look at the temperature, and it sort of plots it as well. It's like a little data logger. So it's, yeah, I'm really pleased with that. £8. So yes, I've just been having a bit of a play with that. But yeah, so I'm back in the Soulo. Can't believe it, really. It's a year since I've been out in this tent, and if you follow my channel, you know that I've got 4 tents, all quite different really. I've got 2 Hillebergs. I've got the Soulo, and I've got the Acto as well, and I've got the Outkit Soloist. It's a very small tent that I'd probably describe it as a luxury bivvy, I sort of call it, because there's not really much room for cooking and such. But I really like the tent. I mean, for what it is, it's a great tent. It's not very expensive either, and I've probably used that as much as any of the other tents I've got this year. I think I've had 6 outings in that tent, the little Outkit Soloist. But I recently got the MLD Mountain Laurel Designs Duo Mid, and since I've got that, I haven't used any other tent. I absolutely love it. I've had a couple of disasters with it, as you've probably seen. Well, one disaster when I put the trekking pole in the wrong way around, and due to a freak storm that came in, it collapsed the tent and the trekking pole went through the material, which was that was my fault, so nothing I could do about that really. Beginner's error. But you know, you learn from your mistakes and you move on. So after that, I went out onto Grassmoor, and really windy, and again I had problems, not so much with the tent, but my trekking pole was bending and it was sinking into the ground. So yeah, that was a bit of a pain, but I just love that tent. I love the space that you get in it and the ease of pitching when you get it pitched right. Yeah, so they're the 4 tents that I've got, all quite different really, and you know, depending on what the situation is, depending on what the weather is, all great tents. As I say, with the Duo Mid, I think I've used that about 6 times this year. The Soloist, the Outkit, I've used that about 6 times. I think I've used the Acto twice, and this Hilleberg Soulo, I haven't used it at all. But it's, I mean, they're all great tents, but I don't think there's any such thing as a perfect tent. It just depends on what the conditions are really. But I can't believe that it's 5 years since I got this tent, and it's been, I love it. but the problem with it is it's bloody heavy. I mean, it's a year since I've used it, and it's been sat on the shelf for a year. When I picked it off the shelf this morning, I couldn't believe the weight of it, especially compared to the ones that I've been using most, the Soloist and the new Duomid. It just seems to weigh a ton, this. But I've got some other lighter kit, so it sort of compensates for the heavier tent. I'm using a quilt now instead of a sleeping bag. So my sleep system now, I've got the quilt, and I've got Thermarest X-Therm mat, and I think I've probably halved the weight of my sleeping system just with them two items. So when you're coming up mountains regularly like I do, I just don't want to be lugging all that weight. So I've got the Soloist, but I've saved weight on the sleep system, so yeah. So it's worked out pretty well, really. I am pleased with that. So this is the little temperature gauge that I was talking about. It tells you the temperature and the humidity as well. I just got it off Amazon. I think it was about £8 or something like that, and it connects to your phone, and then you can it logs the temperature throughout the night, so you can just see what temperature it drops to. I think it's really good. Just a bit of fun knowing what the temperature is, especially in winter. Well, good morning. It's nearly 8 AM now, and the sun will be up any moment. You can just see the pink forming in the sky. The sun comes up that way on the east, so we're looking west there with the pinks forming. Great gable there. Just got to film a frost on the top of the mountain there. The lowest temperature I saw last night was minus 0.5, so it just dipped below zero, but no real frost around. But it looks like there's some on the top of Great End there. But what a scene that is. Such a still morning, it's absolutely perfect. And then just looking down to Wasdale there and out to the Irish Sea, stunning scene. Got Lingmel, and you can see that film of frost going up to Scarfell Pike as well. But the weather forecast was way off. I mean, we did have some 30-mile-an-hour winds early on, but we were quite sheltered down there. Great little spot. But the forecast later on was for clear skies overnight, and we didn't get that at all. It was quite clagged in, quite an eerie scene just over the water there, and all being clagged in at night. It was quite eerie, but enjoyed it though. But about an hour ago the skies cleared, and it's made an absolutely stunning morning. Scott's just down there sorting his tent out. I think it'll be time for getting the kettle on soon and having some breakfast. Just a quick temperature check. It seemed to have dropped quite a bit since that sun came up. Yeah, minus 1.4. Gorgeous though, absolutely gorgeous.
Mandatory from next February. The new restrictions mean most shops are closed, along with restaurants and Christmas markets.
3FM Island News.
Shoppers are being warned to keep a close lookout for scams as Black Friday approaches. Last Christmas, deals that turned out to be too good to be true cost consumers in the UK almost £15.5 million. Earlier this year, Manx Police said online fraud is now the most common crime on the Isle of Man, following a rise in the scams during the coronavirus.
So that's us all packed up now. Nice clean sight, leave no trace. Scott was over there, nothing left for him either. And now that sun's coming up, there's some real warmth coming through. You can feel it in your body. I think temperature now is up to about 2 degrees, and it was minus 1.5 just as we were packing up, so it soon warms up. So we're going to head back towards Sprinkling Tarn now, and just mooch back a nice casual one. No need to rush, and just enjoy the day. Absolutely gorgeous. Just looking at the moon over Great Gable. Beautiful, beautiful. Right, let's move out. how spectacular was that? I thought I'd bring you back that way down Taylorgill Force Gill. It's always spectacular, especially because of all the rain that we've had recently. So spectacular, and it's such a beautiful day. So hope you've enjoyed that trip. It wasn't what we expected. We geared up with all the big stuff because we were expecting 30-mile-an-hour winds, 40-mile-an-hour gusts, and we had a bit of wind up there. Because we've got a quite sheltered spot, we're absolutely fine, and the forecast was just nothing like what they predicted. So we're pleased about that. We still had a good trip. I mean, temps dropped to just below freezing this morning, and the skies cleared. It was absolutely stunning, so can't go wrong really. So thanks very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'd love to hear your comments. If you've got any questions for me, just get them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And stay safe, take care of yourselves, and hope to see you guys in the next one. See ya.